Most of us keep our hens for the fresh, yummy eggs we get. So we want to try to get the most eggs we can out of our chickens. And how we're going to do that is so simple. It's through their food, what we feed them. If you know what to buy at the feed store, you will have great success getting more eggs out of your hens on a regular basis. Now, here's one point I want to make first. Chickens only lay one egg a day, so it might not even be one egg a day, and it depends on the breeds. Some lay a few more than others, some lay a few less than others. But some hens, let's just say a very high laying breed, you can get one egg a day for maybe 3 days in a row, then they'll skip a day, then another egg, maybe skip a day, another 3 days in a row, something like that. They don't lay one egg a day every day, like for weeks and months and years on end, just so you know that. Other breeds that aren't laying quite as well, they are going to lay maybe 2 or 3 eggs a week. On a regular basis though. Now that number can be regular, month after month, year after year. It's all in what you feed them. The first thing I'm going to tell you is the number one most important thing if you want your chickens to lay more eggs. And that is they have to have crushed oyster shells available at all times, 24/7. The reason being is to lay an egg takes a lot of calcium. It takes a lot of calcium to make the shell of the egg, and it also takes a lot of calcium for the muscles of the chicken body to push the egg down, we'll call it the production line, to make the egg in the chicken, and then for the chicken to push the egg out. So you have to make sure there's plenty of calcium available for the chicken at all times. Your chicken is not going to be able to lay an egg regularly for weeks and months and years on end if they run out of calcium, if there's not enough calcium in their diet. They'll just stop laying, or they'll barely, maybe you'll get 1 egg a week because that's just all the calcium it has, is enough to make 1 eggshell and push it down the pike, and that's all you're going to get. So that's the number one thing that you have to make sure your chickens have at all times is crushed oyster shells. I didn't say that very good. So I also want to say a lot of chickens, just by nature, just being young, they'll lay pretty good for the first year or two. But what we're going for, what we're shooting for here, is we want our chickens laying in year 5, year 6, and year 7. We want to have good egg production for years to come. And the chickens are definitely capable of doing that if you feed them the right foods. Number 2 is going to be animal protein, which is meat. It takes a lot of protein for the chicken to lay an egg. And here's the key. The chicken lays 1 egg. Let's just say today, Mrs. Chicken lays an egg. If it doesn't have the protein necessary to start making the next egg right then and there, it won't start making the next egg for the next day, because it takes it that long to make an egg. It takes a long time for the chicken to actually make an egg in its body and go through all the steps. So once it lays an egg, it needs the protein available right then and there to start developing the next egg. If it does not have that protein available right then and there, it waits. It just doesn't start making the egg. And so then you'll have a gap. You'll miss a day, 2 days, or 3 days where the chicken doesn't lay an egg because it's mustering up enough protein to lay the next egg. So the key is you want to give your chickens enough meat, enough high quality animal protein to have available right after it has already laid an egg. I like to feed mine the animal protein, especially in the morning. I just want it in their body, in their system, in the morning. So they usually lay their eggs in the morning. Some chickens are early morning, some are late, but whatever. I want them to eat that animal protein in the morning. So as soon as they lay that egg, boom, the protein's there, ready and available to start making the next egg. That is the key to keeping your production going. Like I say, day after day, week after week, month, year after year. Make sure it has that animal protein available. I'm going to tell you some different kinds. You know, some people know exactly, oh, I'll just feed them this or that. But other people are like, what should I feed them? I'm not sure. So what you can feed them is a good thing. It is a little pricey, and not everybody might be able to afford this on a regular basis, but mealworms are awesome. You can buy big bags of dried mealworms at different stores. You know, there's just regular pet stores. There's like Tractor Supply, Rural King. There's just different stores. I think even Walmart sells them. So if you just look around, you know, try to find the best deal on them, maybe shop online a little bit and buy some of those mealworms. I also can see sometimes like tuna will be on sale, cheap tuna. You can just buy lots of cans of those. You know, sardines sometimes are on sale, a little can of those sardines. You can buy lots of those. And the key is too, I just want to point out that you don't have to waste the animal protein. You don't have to waste the meat. They don't need like buckets of that stuff. They just need a little bit every day. Consistency is the key. Consistently. That's the key. A little bit every day. It's not like dump them a whole bunch once a week. So don't waste it. You know, you can just give them a little bit every day. That is the key, like I'm saying, and you'll see that as you go along. You'll be like, oh, okay. And you can play with the amount and adjust it. And if you pull it back and don't give them as much, and then you know they're not laying, you'll be like, oh, okay, I cut it back a little too much. And you know, you got to make adjustments when you have a homestead. So that's something you just personally can play with, and then just get it just right and just keep that going then once you figure it out and get it just right. Another convenient way I find is super convenient if you're a busy person or if you're just a forgetful person is buy the high quality buy the high quality dog or cat kibble. Make sure it's grain free, and then it has, you know, it'll have more meat in it, animal meat in it. The cat kibble has a little bit smaller pieces if you're worried your chicken will like, oh, we can't eat those big pieces. I assure you it can. But if you're worried, you're a little nervous, you could always buy the high quality cat kibble, which is smaller pieces, and then you're for sure the chicken can eat it. You don't have to worry. Again, don't overfeed that. Don't waste it. You know, you can just dole it out a handful in the morning, every single morning, or whatever little measuring thing you use, and just keep that very consistent again. All right, so that's enough about the animal protein. So you have the oyster shells, the crushed oyster shells, and the meat, some kind of meat. Those two are the most important to keep your egg production going. Now we'll talk about what makes the yolks just nice and rich is whole corn. The oil and fat in the whole corn just makes the yolks really dark yellow, almost orange sometimes, and it'll just add a lot of flavor to those. You know, a lot of fat is in that, so it just adds a lot of flavor to your farm fresh eggs, and you'll love them. All your friends will love them. All your family will love them. They'll, like, I have my family, they're like, hey, bring me eggs every time they're seeing me practically, and I'm just like, whoa, I don't have that many. But like that's what they want the most. They want the eggs, and they're good. That's why they just want those. So don't forget, the third thing is the whole corn. And all these things in combination just work so well. You'll see, they work so well to get fabulous eggs, great egg production, and just keep it going. After that, I will feed whole oats, and that's just because it's just something they like. It's not that expensive. A little bit goes a long way. And to keep your chickens happy, especially if you keep them in a coop, if you just like throw that stuff on the ground, the whole corn and the oats, believe me, they love to scratch around and pick through all that stuff. I also do the same with the crushed oyster shells, I'll just throw that in there. And that is just instinctual to them. They love just to go scratch around and pick through all that stuff and get everything they need. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the secret ingredients to have your chickens lay more eggs. Thanks for watching, and please click the like button and also join my channel. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.